So we're at the balcony of my apartment now with the front plastics, and as you can see, maybe not in the sunlight, they are in pretty rough shape. And instead of buying new plastics because they're too expensive, I'm going to first heat blast them with the heat gun. And as you can see, I've already blasted this part of the plastic. It changes the color back to more darker black, and after that I'm going to wrap the plastics with that camo wrap that I got from AliExpress for 20 euros. And after heat blasting I'm going to clean them thoroughly, and after that I'm going to make molds how I want the wrap to be shaped. And I'm not going to wrap the whole plastic, just the flat parts. And I'm going to leave all these curved areas and sides black, and I think that will look pretty good. The biggest mistake some people make is to wrap the whole plastic, and that just doesn't give enough contrast and looks kind of cheap. So let's get into it. So here's the difference between heat blasted plastic versus the untreated one. As you can see, the color is very faded in some areas, but with this heat blasted one the color is almost uniform throughout the whole plastic, and also most of the small scratches have completely disappeared. And I think once we wrap this with the camouflage wrap, it will look really good, almost like a brand new bike. So the first plastic is now wrapped, and I think it came out looking pretty nice. There are a couple of scratches which were already in the plastic, so they didn't come from my not so good wrapping skills. And since this is my first time ever wrapping something with vinyl or tape, I think it's a success. It's looking pretty good. And now it's time to heat blast the second plastic, and after that I'm going to be wrapping that. Now both plastics are wrapped, and I must say they came out looking really good. Now we have the front mudguard here, which is going to become black. As you can see, it's ugly old red. This is shaped perfectly to fit the Aprilia. I think this is the stock one, and it looks really good. But now before we can paint it with the gray primer for plastic, we'll need to clean it. And what works best for me is a brake cleaner solution, and all the oil and dust will literally just slide off with some brake cleaner. Can't use the brake cleaner now. Don't want to clean my cat. So I will show you. There is a lot of dust here with a nice little spray, and wipe with a towel. You can see the cleaned part. You're not going to need any other chemicals than this one for cleaning the plastics. And if I'm not completely mistaken, this will vaporize off of the part, and it is ready to be painted, and the paint will stick well to it. So now the part is completely cleaned and it's in a safe place for painting. So first off, we're gonna apply some 2 or 3 coats of this gray matte primer, which will help the black paint to stick even better. So the first layer of the primer coating is now on, and as you can see it looks pretty good, and it's getting pretty dark here, so I'm trying to do this as quickly as I can, and going to get the first 1 or 2 layers of the black coating here so I can film the finished fender today. So now the front mudguard is painted. It came out really nice except for the small scratches, and now it's time to take off these tapes or stickers from the light mask and also clean it. It's really dirty, and then cover all the parts that are not going to be painted blue, the same blue as in this vinyl combo wrap. It's funny to see how much the color can fade just from being outside exposed to the UV light. As you can see, where the stickers were protecting the plastic, it's still the same color as it was when it came out from factory, and where I have cleaned the plastic, it's really much darker. It doesn't show that well on the camera, but I hope you can see the difference. So now the light mask is ready for painting, and we're going to first apply a couple of layers of primer paint. Now there is a good layer of primer coating here, and I'm going to wait 15 minutes before I apply the newly bought blue paint. It matches almost perfectly to the blue on the graphics, so I think it will look pretty good. So now the light mask is finished. It came out perfect, as you can see. No flaws whatsoever. And while I was at it, I also cleaned the rest of the light mask. Now all these parts are finished and they came out perfect. The next step is a white seat cover. So we have the old seat here, and it's in really awful shape. As you can see, the seat cover is cracked in many spots, and also it's dirty as hell. I'm going to clean it first, then I'm going to take the old seat cover off, and after that I'm going to make a new seat cover from white fake leather, and I think it's going to fit really nicely with the white, blue, pink and black plastics. So now the seat cover is finally off. As you can see, the foam underneath is a bit moldy, but it doesn't really matter here because we're going to install the new seat cover, which has anti-mold capabilities. So now we're just going to lay flat the saddle here and take our white leather and wrap it around here. So, and here it is. As you can see, it came out really good. I'm really happy with this. It wasn't easy to do, but definitely doable. Only tools I used were one of these, I don't know the proper name in English, and scissors, one flathead screwdriver and small pliers. And you might think, what is this dent here? And it will even out when I install the seat on the moped, because it will want to straighten out a bit and it will look flawless. But I'm really happy with this, how it came out.